Hi everyone, this is Laura Campagna, the Wednesday Witch, and I'm here with your tarot forecast for Scorpio season. Scorpio season initiates us into the mysteries of life, invites us to contemplate death, the other side, where we go when we pass from this earthly plane, and there is a thinning of the veil, as it's traditionally described, and an ability to both feel our ancestors and our loved ones who have gone before us, and the capacity to really investigate what gives our own life meaning. And Scorpio asks us to live in integrity so that we die well, and that we facilitate the coexistence of all creatures on the planet through our own life practices. So there is this really beautiful connection with Taurus, which is the polarity of Scorpio and the abundance of the earth at this time of endings, harvest, and reaping. So the first card for Scorpio season is the Queen of Wands, which I really love because we do need a bit of the Queen of Wands sits in her power. She really knows what she feels. She's passionate, she's unapologetic, and she is a warrior archetype of the divine feminine that invites us to show up for conflict that is righteous and to defend our and protect our values. And there is definitely this sense of needing to show up with an open heart and a lot of courage for this moment because there's so much in flux and so much insecurity. Where we are now is the Warrior of Wands, so taking action is incredibly important at this time. Mars has been in Cancer, where it will go retrograde, or where it will retrograde back into in the winter. And so the period from September to November 3rd really gave us this sense of the emotional wounds and the family dynamics and also the larger national issues that we're going to be really deeply excavating and attempting to heal on, I'd say, a pretty profound level in January and February especially. But Mars has now moved into Leo, just as of last night, the evening of November 3rd. And so now there's this sense of, okay, how do I show up to shine my light in the world? And how do I embody faith, optimism, and hope during a time when we lose a lot of daylight and the night is longer? So there is this sense of connecting with our own inner spirit and the universal spirit that animates us all. Okay, the challenge is the Four of Swords, which is feeling pretty exhausted and also mental, kind of mental fatigue, telling ourselves stories or engaging in narratives that aren't helpful. And really at this time, the question is, what is going to help us show up with the greatest capacity and resilience and to feel like we're okay no matter what happens? And that is a spiritual principle. That is a spiritual practice, but also, we need to be quiet and to rest in order to be able to engage in that practice. So the Four of Swords is definitely saying, take time to care for yourself and don't push yourself too hard. So balancing both of those cards. And then our final outcome is the Fool card, known as the potential card in this deck, the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. So I love the Fool. The Fool invites us to be open-hearted and to believe that what has been is not what has to be, and the difficulty of the past does not need to determine the potentiality of the future. And so the Fool here is very, it's hopeful in a way that's also childlike, in the sense of wonder and beauty, and kind of being in awe at what is possible on Earth. So leaping into the unknown and believing we'll be caught, even though we don't entirely know what that means. Our bonus card is the Hermit, known as introspection. So again, we need to be quiet and listen to ourselves to connect deeply with our own inner light. And, you know, there is no guarantees that things will be okay on Earth, but spiritual practices give us the capacity to connect with what is eternal and what can sustain us through the most difficult moments. And that is unique to each of us. And that is the way the divine expresses personally to each of us, is so beautiful. That's true magic, as my teachers love to talk about. So, you know, hopefully you can have time to consider what lights your lamp, what keeps your own home fires and hearth and hope burning, and to be able to show up both for yourself and others. So I hope you all have a beautiful Scorpio season. I am available for readings and consultations through my website, LauraCampagnaAstrology.com.